mean, look, I did hear that there is, we're live. Look at that. I did hear that there is some benefit to like splashing water on yourself every now and then. I mean, I showered in the last 24 hours. I'm doing good with that. Yeah. But you know what? Susan, I said, maybe we should do some jumping jacks and get people alive here today. And Susan immediately was doing this. Thank you, Susan. I
was sitting down. I'm still sitting though.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Well, it was arm jumping jacks.
We're almost there. But I have one of my clients in one of my businesses who was looking kind of down, kind of tired. And I was working with her on sales stuff, right? And communications and things like that I focus on. And I said, like, go do some jumping jacks or something. And so she immediately started doing jumping jacks while we were talking. So that's called coachability, everybody. Being coachable. Maybe that'll be our topic for today. But let me look at these awesome people. We got some great people here with us today. We'll go on gallery view. Alec, is that your smoking jacket or is that your bathrobe? What are you wearing there, Alec?
I was wondering that myself.
Like in outer space with like this plaid, like lumberjack robe or something. What?
It got cold this morning, and I really did not want to put on one of my thicker shirts.
All right. Well, I'm glad you're wearing clothing because sometimes we have people who show up with less clothing. Hey, Ann, great hat. I see you. There's Scott out there with his painting. Good to see Terry, Susan. Lana's here. We're going to hear from her today. Ned is here. And Alora, one of my newest friends. And nobody else is on camera. Light crowd today. Only 24 of us. Okay. Well, I'm sure some more people are coming. Hey, Millicent. Good to see you. I see you, my friend. Glad you're here.
Yeah. Why are all these people hiding from the camera?
Well, it's sometimes, people start their weekends early around here. Alora, that's part of working online is you can wear whatever you want or not, right? So anyway, but it is Fun Friday, so somebody's got to tell a joke. For the benefit of our new members, we got 3 policies. If you can't be on time, be early. That's number 1. Number 2 is that if a dog barks while your microphone is unmuted, you must present the dog so that we can all enjoy the dog. And number 3 is that somebody's got to tell a joke on Fridays. Who's got the joke today?
I've got the joke.
All right, come on down.
Do you know any good jokes about Indian food?
I don't.
Because we have naan.
Oh.
As a naan bread.
Have naan, yes. Oh, that's good. Good stuff. Family friendly, good rated G, good clean fun. Oh, I heard one the other day. What is a pirate's favorite letter? I can't hear you.
I don't know.
R.
No, 'tis the sea. You see how I led you on with that, right? It's like a similar joke to like the pirate's favorite restaurant is Arby's, right? So anyway, good to see you guys. This is great. All right, so we're all very serious, right? We're all very serious. Here's
never serious.
Yeah. All right. Any other jokes before we move on to our topic for today?
I have a joke.
Got one.
Yes, come on, Alora,
Yes.
please.
I don't have many jokes, so I'll just start with the few that I have. The one that I have.
Well, let's start with one. Yeah.
The difference between heaven and hell.
What's the difference?
The difference is in heaven, the British greet you, the French cook for you, and the Germans organize and everything.
Oh.
Wait, I got something wrong. The Italians cook for you, and the Germans organize everything, right? In hell, I must have it wrong, but it's basically the French greet you, the British cook for you, and the Italians organize everything. Something like that. It's been a long time.
I get it.
It's so fun. Yeah, imagine that.
Very good. Very good. Alora, one of our newest members. Welcome, Alora. All right. Good times. So we're going to keep it light today. Oh, wait. Kelly has a riddle. Kelly, please.
I do. What comes in the month twice in a moment and never in 100 years?
Once in a month,
I know we
twice in a moment,
Just had
never in
this
100 years.
riddle today.
Okay, I don't know.
Anybody?
Mhm.
The letter M.
The
Ah,
letter O.
The letter M. It comes once in the word month, twice in the word moment, and never in 100 years.
there you go. Look at that. Look at, see,
That was
our
my
IQ
that
is
was my
going up.
daughter's riddle.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank your daughter.
Welcome.
Our IQ is going up just from having known you. That is awesome. Great stuff. All right, guys. Oh, Scott, you've got your hand up. Please, Scott.
Yeah, I don't know. This is one of those kid jokes too, but
Good. Family
why
friendly.
don't dinosaurs talk?
I don't know.
Because they're all dead.
Too simple. Too simple. All right. Very good. Very good. All right. Let's get on with the serious business of the day here. We've had a busy week, guys. We got a lot of brand new members, as some of you know, because you are brand new. And I just got to meet 14 of our newest members here, right? Just about an hour or so ago. And we've also got expansion going on. So we're going to be talking a little bit about what happens behind the scenes a little bit here, because look, everything we talk about here, even the jokes part is designed to be relevant for you, where you're at in your business right now. And I know we've got people at all different, stages of growth, with their business. Some brand new, some have been here months, some are making money, and some are like getting ready to like do really big things in the industry. And if that's your intention, if that's why you came here, and even if you're at the starting line, right, and you're looking at this big mountain ahead of you, everything we do, whether it's things that Adam are doing with the technical help, I know he's going live today, and then of course the help desk, and of course everything Rachel does, and everything we do here, more with the community, right, and just talking about things like entrepreneurship and the mindset of success, which I will tell you in my world, that's the most important part of it, regardless of what methods you're applying. Everything we do is designed to help you advance in life, in business, and whatever it is that you said you wanted to do. Because look, when we get started with any endeavor, whether we're talking about e-commerce, or you showing up at the gym, or doing jumping jacks like Susan, when you do that, you're doing that with some intention, some hope for gain, right? So there's some carrot, hopefully, that's hanging in front of you that you want to get the carrot, or there's some adverse conditions which you're looking to avoid. So all of us are motivated by hope for gain, or fear of loss, right? Avoidance of pain, that sort of thing. And so knowing that, I think everything we do, not just here in this group, but everything that you could choose to do or choose to not do throughout your day, you may want to ask yourself a question, two questions actually. And these are the two questions that every successful person, knowingly or not, asks themselves when they're looking to make a decision. This could be consciously or subconsciously, but these are the two questions. In fact, I got this from one of my first mentors, the late Bob Proctor. Bob just left us, a couple of weeks ago. But this is something that he said to me. So here's two questions. Number one is, will this decision move me in the direction of my goals? Yes or no? And if the answer is yes, then the second question is, will this decision violate the rights of others? Yes or no? And if the answer is no, well, then there's no third question. You take action, right? So is this decision, this action going in the direction, based on my own self-determinism and what I said I wanted, my goals, my purposes, right? Yeah. Is that a yes? Okay, great. And am I going to violate your rights? Am I going to harm or diminish you? No? Okay, well then act. There is no third question. A lot of times, and I'm going to bring Lana out here to talk about this a little bit, because I know Lana has had her head into, a lot of the stuff that we've been doing behind the scenes for the community. But a lot of times people have lots of considerations. So we've talked about this before. Scott Barker, you and I have talked about this too. So we're like the town philosophers over here. but a lot of times people have a lot of additional considerations, secondary and tertiary considerations, right? Primary, secondary, tertiary. And so we have to sometimes get out of our own way and just get on with it. I mean, after all, if you're playing to win, if you see the carrot, and hopefully you have a carrot, what do I mean by that? I mean, you've got a goal and it's a known goal, right? You're not vague about this. You've got a reason for showing up. Okay. Well, if that's a known goal, okay, now there's your reasons, right? There's your purposes. Well, fan friggin' tastic. Let's hit it. Let's hit it really hard. Let's play to win. Let's not play to not lose. You see, this is where all these other considerations come up. Yeah, but, and what if I swing and miss and I try, you know what, I screwed up that other thing. I don't know, am I even cut out for this? All the considerations that lead to what? Lead to basically non-doing this, lead to a static, inertia. An object at rest tends to stay at rest. And you might be that object. I have been many times in my life with all these considerations, not decisions, considerations. So what did I fail to do? I failed to ask myself those two questions, consciously or subconsciously, and just get on with it. Now you'll know you've made a decision because you'll see your feet moving, right? To decide but to not act is to not have decided. So as we go forth, whether you're 1 hour in the business or you've been here for months, okay? But as you go forth and continue to scale up your efforts and yes, your results, okay, these are the kind of things, these decisive questions that you could ask yourself to save yourself a ton of time. Because look, guys, I know anybody can make $1 million. The only question is, how long does that take? A lifetime? Well, that's not so great, right? A couple of years, oh, that's better, right? So we've got to reduce the amount of time it takes to get stuff done. The thing that takes up the most time is indecision, non-doingness, an object at rest. So to help me with this, and I'm just, you know what, Lana and I have not had a whole lot of time together. We're insanely busy. You guys know I run 4 businesses. I'm a crazy person, but I'm interested to hear what comes out of her mouth. Because Lana, I'll tell you what, I never know what's going to come out of my mouth until I hear it. It's always fascinating. Usually it's something good, but you've got experience with making decisions and like getting on with it and kind of throwing in what you're doing right now. You're going to be seeing more of Lana here. You're like throwing in and saying, you know what, this is great. Let me support this community. Let me help people advance in business and life. What's coming up for you as you hear these words?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, it's really lovely to see you all, so many people coming in. I'm sure I may have possibly spoken to some of you at some point. But so it's lovely to see you all here. But yeah, oh gosh, so much is coming up for me. Even just a brief history of what I've gone through. I tried years ago and, I tried Herbalife, all sorts of different businesses, never quite worked out for me. And the funny thing is, I had this kind of entrepreneurial itch that, I just wanted, I could see other people doing it. And I'm talking years and years, quite a few years back that I started to think about an online business. And it was a lot harder, actually, quite a few years back, as you probably know. And, what Rachel's got here is so, so streamlined and so, nice for us to kind of just ease into. But I've gone through all of that shiny object syndrome, going into one thing, didn't hit a barrier, hit something that I wasn't quite sure what to do. And then it just completely stopped me in my tracks. I didn't know where to turn. I just would then, and I say this a lot to people when I talk to people, actually, one of them things that happens is you do hit that, something you're not quite sure of, and then you leave it alone, and then you think, oh gosh, a couple of months down the line, you think, well, that didn't work. But that itch never goes away. You want to scratch it, and then you'll go and find something else, a new business model or a different thing. So I'm super glad all you guys have come here, because it took me a few of them different ideas and businesses to go through before, I found e-commerce, which is, thankfully I did. And, for you guys that have come in, and that's what I think a lot of these, you guys have come in, you may have tried other things before and it wasn't successful, but you didn't give up. And that's a really good thing. So you decided that you wasn't going to give up. You want to actually scratch that itch And so well done, well done for coming into doing a whole new program. And those of you that this is the first time where you hit the nail on the head, really, you come in straight away. That's my fault.
Very nice, Alana. You mentioned shiny object syndrome. I don't know if anyone here is affected by that or has been. Yes, no, I could see you wouldn't dare lift your hand. Oh, I see a couple of honest people here. Yeah, look, I like the next hot sizzling thing as much as anybody else, right? But if we look at the anatomy of success itself, it's completing what you start. So anything that you've ever succeeded at, whether it's, eating breakfast, walking down the hallway, like whatever, like tiny little things, you can see that you made a decision, you started doing that action, you took it to completion, and then you stopped, right? And that's done. That's a done. My favorite 4-letter word, Lana, done. I got other 4-letter words I like too. Okay. But done is my favorite. Okay. You know what my least favorite is? Wait. I hate wait. Oh my goodness. No, wait is akin to indecision, nothingness, non-doingness, accomplishing nada. And you know what? The interesting thing about shiny objects is that there's always the tendency to want to look outside of ourselves. Like, look, I've been in marketing for a long time, so I know in the marketing world, I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but in the marketing world, there's all these, tricks and tactics, and click the easy button and the system does autopilot riches. I mean, I see this stuff in my inbox every single day. It never stops, right? And look, people buy that deal because look, do I have to? I don't have to be responsible. I mean, you've got the magic system. You see, that's it. You see, it's not my fault. They were withholding, these people over here, they were withholding from me. So now I need to go over there because they've got the secrets. So let me buy that deal now. Oh, wait, that one doesn't work. You see, they must be withholding something too, because here's the other guy with the secrets. It never ends. Okay. So if we're going to accomplish anything in life, and if we've been the one going from 10 million different things and never completing any of them, here's the question: who keeps showing up at the scene of the crime? Right, the person in the mirror. Right. So I believe, in fact, I know anything can work. Anything. E-commerce, yeah, and there's a million different forms of e-commerce. Okay, I'm engaged in e-commerce, very different than what you guys are doing with print on demand. Okay, but e-commerce, that's a real viable thing. Okay, cool. And there's lots of methods and lots of paths to doing that. Okay, and any of them can work if we take them to fruition, if we complete what we start. Okay, that's also part of this whole idea of playing to win rather than playing to not lose, if people play at all. Right. So back to this whole idea, Lana, what I'm hearing is, that you've also benefited from making that shift from, perhaps floating here and there and doing whatever, right, to actually getting stuff down now to the point where you're a competent teacher of that. You have some thoughts on that?
I mean, I've gone through lots of different stuff. So obviously the whole process of being an online business owner, and you come into this thinking, it's going to be all really straightforward, but actually you need to work on your mindset, and I've done that over the years, and it really does help. It really does. I instead of one thing I can share is if you hit something you're not quite sure of, obviously don't get stuck. Just look at things from a point of view of curiosity, and don't panic and get angry, and because in the past I did those things, and I've learned lots and lots from doing all of the wrong things, and I'm not perfect. I still learn every day, but it really did help me.
Right. Is there, we recommend 5 books for everyone to start with as sort of an onboarding and on-ramp to the whole mindset thing that Lana just mentioned. Okay. So there's Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, T. Harv Eker, right? 5-Second Rule, Mel Robbins, Cash Flow Quadrant, Robert Kiyosaki, right? I mean, this is some good stuff. The Power of Consistency by Weldon Long. There's a guy who was in prison for 13 years, criminal, convict, millionaire, right? Turned his whole life around by just consistently applying some basic principles. Nobody's going to get a brain hernia reading this stuff. Okay. If you want to go down the philosophical rabbit hole, I can give you stuff that we could sit and talk about for 20 years and not complete the conversation. But Lana, of all these like books that we introduce people to, are there any that are coming up for you, or maybe that you're rereading right now that are helping you with the mindset? Because I don't think you've arrived either, right? We all need input, right? So, yeah.
I mean, yeah, and I read them. I put them down and then I'll read them again, because in times in life, if we're not constantly putting that positive, at least daily reading that positive input, it's so easy to go, let them negative voices come in and give it a few days, we're right down the pan again. So it is, really worth, even if it's a chapter a day. So for me, obviously, the Miracle Morning was really good because obviously, the exercise that gets you pumping, and you've got the energy to put in, because a lot of the times we can, and again, I've done that before. You're just too tired, or I can't do that today, and and it doesn't get anywhere. I love Millionaire Mind, and also The Science of Getting Rich. So I'm rereading that one again.
Oh, SGR. That book has had such an impact. Now, that's not one of the ones that I recommended for the new people, although go ahead and grab yourself a copy. It's long out of copyright. It was written in 1910 by Wallace D. Wattles. So it's out of copyright. Just download one. But wow, there's so much meat in that short book. It's not a long book.
No,
wow. Yeah. The thing I like about Miracle Morning, what Hal did, like in my book, Integrity is Everything, I talked about a lot of the same principle-based actions that he talks about in his book. But I think I was trying to step a little bit more gingerly. Like, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm going to tell you here's what I do, right? And here's the principles upon which it's based. Whereas Hal just said, do that. And a lot of times people, I mean, that's kind of a relief. Well, just tell me what to do. I mean, look, here we are with Rachel, right? You're learning her methods. She's showing you what do that, right? You don't have to overthink it, which is we have a tendency to do sometimes, right? You mean a black text on a white cup, and you made $100,000 selling that? I mean, yeah. Okay. There's more to the story, though, right? So don't just end off with the simplicity of the cup, right? How does she market it? How did she get it into hands of people? I was just talking with my secret weapon about this. That's my wife, in case you guys, you have never met my wife, but she's amazing. We run a branding and marketing agency, and she was talking about some promotional stuff that we're going to be engaging in, where we're targeting a specific audience that are passionate about like this topic. Okay. And then we can offer them, here's the t-shirt, here's the memorabilia, the coffee mug for that matter, right? Whatever the item happens to be. You guys right now, you ever go on YouTube and you see one of your favorite channels or commentators or whatever? Hey, by the way, guys, buy my t-shirts, right? So stuff like that. So that's target audience, relevant message, matching the message to the market, right? We like this message. Okay, great. Well, now get the t-shirt then. Okay, great. Here's some money. So there's more than just what's written on the cup. It's like shoving it in the face of the people who want to buy it, who are predisposed and pre-motivated to buy it. So you don't have to be like a big convincing person or anything. You just, here you go. Here's your big opportunity. Give me some money. So anyway, and you know what? Let me say this too, because we're already, 20 minutes into this. But Lana and I have obviously very different personalities. Okay. And yet we're both successful. So if you're thinking, oh, I need to be like this, crazy Italian guy from New Jersey, fire breathing dragon maniac, John Lavetti. No. Lana, you have any closing thoughts?
Yeah, just hang out with me, this crazy English. No,
you're also proper. I think that goes back to the joke that we're hearing from Alora, right? Is like you're being greeted by the British, right? They're very proper, welcome. You know what? Since it's Fun Friday, I'll tell you a little joke. I moved to Florida about a month and a half ago from Arizona. Right. So I know the desert. I know the desert and the mountains. I know that world. Okay. We decided, you know what? Time for change. Let's go to Florida. And so we went, and it's all very nice. But here on my street, we have a stork that shows up like often. Like he's like the town bum, this stork. And they're freaking huge too. I mean, it's a big bird. And then, you know, we got pelicans fly around, seagulls, and there's one stork. He'll come right up to your car, like looking for fish or something. He's like the town bum. And so one of my friends said, oh, maybe he's actually the town greeter. And I said, no, the town greeter is the woman who works at the home goods store. You guys know what home goods is? It's you know, eclectic furniture and, you know, rugs. Anyway, we found the rug that we wanted at Home Goods. It would look perfect in our media room, you know. And so we were checking out, and here's the cashier, and here I am trying to be social, right? Because I live on the internet. I'm actually communicating with humans here. There's bodies right here. Oh my goodness! Hi, how are you? And oh well, yeah, oh, you're getting the rug. Very nice rug, yeah. Oh yeah, we're new here. We just moved to Florida. Where'd you move from? Phoenix. And she said, why'd you move to Florida? There's nothing here but old people waiting to die. I said, you're the welcome committee, Shannon, my wife. Look, we just met the welcome committee. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. So, I mean, totally unconscious. So, anyway, Scott, save me, Scott. What are we talking about here, Scott? I have no idea what this topic is.
Well, for me, what's resonating with me is the whole shiny object syndrome, because I know that so well. And, you know, I got into one thing, I can't remember what it was, but I remember what they had said when I got into it. They said, the key is to sell them what they want, but give them what they need.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of times, especially for me, I never really could articulate what I wanted. So I let them tell me what I want, and I get excited in that moment, and I go for that shiny object syndrome.
Mm.
And then I get into that, and then I realize, I don't know that I need this. But what was happening with me was I never really did my due diligence, and diligence was too hard. Although it was very rewarding, but it was too hard. So I would jump to what I thought might be easier, but I would disguise it as well, no, maybe this isn't for me. That's more for me, because the sales pitch had some other little nugget that kind of tugged at what I thought I wanted. And so, and I finally got to a place where I had to finally come to the realization that it's not the systems, it's not the things I'm chasing, but it's me. But then there comes another problem, because I'm focusing on me as the problem or me as the liability. And now I start to condemn myself for it. Now I'm going down a rabbit hole that I definitely don't want to go down. You know, getting in that depression, kicking myself, that kind of thing. And but it's taken me some time to finally get out of that, where no, I am not the problem or the liability. I am my biggest asset, but I'm not investing in me. I'm investing in all these things that are outside of me. And as I start to try to invest in me, then I realize, oh my gosh, that's hard. There's that diligence, but now there's a little bit different thinking on that. And so learning not to be perfect, and just kind of have a little bit of momentum so anyway, that's just that's the world I'm in right now. So now that I've had to take a step back, I've got all these shiny objects. What do I do with them? What do I say no to? What do I say yes to? And I'm not falling for the, oh, well, this is what you want. I'm not going to do that again. And so if I'm in something right now that maybe it's not the right fit, I don't know. But I have to kind of take that step back. And the focus now needs to be on investing in myself, because I haven't spent a lot of time, because I've been trying to do the easy thing. And, you know, for one example for treating myself is I have to remind myself exercise is one of the biggest frogs that I used to hate doing that. The process, the pain. But then I realized, but what am I really truly giving myself by doing that? And then I realized, well, the purpose is, well, I want more energy. I want to have, it's not about looking good anymore. It's not about losing weight as it is to having that energy that that helps me be more productive in the time that I do have. And sometimes it actually helps stretch the time because I'm not so tired and exhausted. And
Right.
what's interesting is you said one of the words you hated was wait. And one of the words that you love was done. Now, for me, it's kind of flipped on the opposite. Now I'm starting to learn to like to wait. And it's that very first learning to be in silence, learning to be still at the very beginning of the morning. And it's allowed me to start to enjoy, because I used to just start to shake. No, I got to get this done. I got to get this done.
Yeah,
And
but
I know that's not what you meant by
That's
wait.
being,
but-
that's being in the moment. That's being in present time. Waiting is when you're not in present time and you're projecting here, right? And you're not doing. So if you're in present time, that's strong, Scott. You know.
When I guess what I mean by wait is waiting to do that to-do list or that thing that I think that I have to do. It's more prioritizing, I guess, more than it is waiting
Sure.
per se. So.
Well, yeah, you're a very able guy, all right? I've known you now for a couple of weeks, and I think you can definitely do anything you've made a decision to do. I think it's the flip-flopping. The indecision is the enemy. Indecision, right? But if you're going to do it, well, then do it. Take it to completion. And if you're not going to do it, well, then don't do it, right? It's maybe it's crazy. All right. Yes. No. That's good. That's good, sane stuff. Maybe.
And I think for me right now is I'm trying to discover what it is that I do want. So if I can't
All right, well,
get
you
that
and I need to have
defined-
some one-on-one time on that because I'm definitely getting to know you and yeah. Arlene says procrastination is the word she doesn't like. Yeah, that procrastination is the cousin of indecision. They're basically one and the same. And Alora clarified her joke. Thank you, Alora. Hell is where the English cook for you. Now, I know we've got a lot of Brits on here, including Lana, but I will tell you that the worst thing I've ever had in my mouth was the mushroom lasagna at Heathrow Airport in the VIP lounge for Virgin Airlines. I don't know, like, how do you guys eat that stuff? That was
I don't like them.
grotesque.
Actually, I was quite surprised. We normally get quite a bad rap. I was looking forward to that, but it was
Okay.
nice at one point. yeah,
Good
go for it.
times.
There was a
Good times.
program on the telly the other day, and it was just a brief. Martin Clunes. I don't know if anyone in the you Brits here see it, but he literally is going around all these different Pacific, oceans and countries, meeting all these people, and literally apologizing for what we've done in the past. It was so funny. It's like, I'm so sorry about that.
Good times, good
Yeah.
times. And Scott, Terry identifies with you completely. Joan was asking, I thought I was in Tucson. My phone number's from Tucson. I lived in Tucson for 10 years. My daughter was born in Tucson. So that was a little while ago. But yeah, Phoenix was my most recent locale. Let's go down under to Mr. Scott, because we have to hear from at least two Scotts a day on this call. Hi, Scott.
Morning, John. Actually, it's up over if you turn the world around the correct way.
Right.
But that's
Well,
okay.
it's all subjective. Yeah.
That's all right. I think I like to boil things down. And one thing I noticed with shiny object syndrome, I think the confusion often can be between the methodology and the goal. Often the shiny object relates to how you're going to get the goal, how you're going to achieve the end in mind. If the shiny object becomes the goal, then it's almost impossible to decide, because there are so many different ways of achieving, of making money. You can make money on the internet, make money with your hands, make money in 100 different ways. I think the secret with that is to identify the goal and realize that the method doesn't really matter that much, because as you mentioned, whatever method you choose, one way or another, someone's been successful with that. So it doesn't really matter at the end of the day which method, because if one method doesn't work, you just click to another and you try that. And if for some reason it doesn't work, you keep on going until you get there. But the goal doesn't change. And that's the secret. That's the key to it, I think. And I noticed there's talk about procrastination, self-doubt, and so forth. I think that really is a luxury we can't afford. It's a luxury we allow ourselves to enjoy. I think the mind it should really be given only two alternatives. Either you're going to work on the goal or you're not. Basically, to me, self-doubt, the procrastination, the shiny object, the self-hatred, all the normal nuances of human conditioning, they fall into the category of not goal thinking. So basically, I mean, in the situation where you're compelled by circumstances around you to make a decision, otherwise someone, say for example, will die. You don't have time for self-doubt. You don't have time to think, oh, I'm not a worthy person. You don't have time for that, for anything other than the goal. Anything other than the goal is a luxury. And I think we have to get to that mindset where even self-doubt is a luxury we can't afford. And that's self-doubt is the basis for advertising. When you go on the internet and you see all the different ads for different ways of making money, a huge amount of their effort is geared towards convincing people that they can do it too, because the self-doubt is so prevalent. And that's why a lot of people get into these things and they falter and they trip, they make mistakes, they lose self-confidence, and they don't continue because of self-doubt. And I think that's also probably the fundamental reason for the entire motivation industry, is self-doubt. Without that, a lot of things would be so much easier. And I think by focusing on the goal, and I'm a big one on this one, the self-doubt, the self-dislike, all the human things that distract you from the goal, they dissipate, they become irrelevant. And the goal, achieving the goal itself, actually helps to bolster your self-confidence and bolster your belief in your ability to achieve things. And it doesn't matter at the end of that, it doesn't really matter what the goal is, because you'll redefine the goal once you achieve it. There was a TikTok group the other day, and one lady was saying, well, I'm thinking about this house I want to buy and so forth, and I'm just thinking, how I should go about it. And one thing I mentioned to her was, yeah, focus on the house, focus on that goal. That's what you want. That's great. But also have another goal in mind to follow. It's like the Olympic athlete. He spent his whole life focusing on one goal, the gold, and he's up on the stand, enjoying his gold medal, but there's something wrong, because he's asking himself a question: what now? What's next? There's a whole void of emptiness after that gold medal, which he hasn't even thought about. And that's why you've got to have your goal, but as you're nearing it, just keep in mind to another goal to follow it. You go from goal to goal to goal. But at the end of the day, though, if you are hampered with self-doubt and self-hatred and all the things that you get from growing up, that will just distract you, and it will take away every joy and happiness you have. But also, a very important point you mentioned before, the goal, particularly with Bob Proctor, the goal must have a moral component, because the mechanism will work no matter what that goal is, good or bad. But if it doesn't have a moral component, you'll find it will ultimately be self-destructive. You'll still achieve it, but you will burn people on the way. You will destroy everyone in your path. And you don't want to do that. You want to do something that enhances and creates a legacy of like Bob Proctor, create a legacy of absolute joy and delight. I mean, we speak about him now in reverential terms, and rightly so, because he created that legacy of amazing impact on people's lives. And that should be a fundamental aspect of any goal that we select, because the alternative is, yeah, you'll get your money, you'll get whatever you want, but you will crush people in the process, and you will have a legacy of hatred behind you. And who wants that? There's no point.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
that's not part of the end game.
Yeah, unless you're a sociopath and you have no conscience. But you mentioned a moral component, and so earlier when you were talking about having a stable goal, I would also say that at least important as is what you do is who you do it with, which we could also look at as a moral component, because no man's an island. And I mean, even if it's you and the customers you serve, right? Who are these customers? And are they something more than just data on a computer screen? Why do we have a community here? If everybody here, you thought you were just going to be going alone on this, good luck, right? I don't know, like no man's an island, right? So I love working with people. In fact, I'll tell you guys right now, a lot of you on here, you're more of an e-commerce expert than I am. I'm a communications expert. I'm a philosopher and business coach, but my goodness, there's as many paths as there are people to take them. I saw something that Netta wrote in the chat there. Netta, I want to take that up with you. We're going to be out of time here now, but Guys, when you come here each day and hopefully get your batteries charged and reset your focus on what you can accomplish in a day or in this weekend, which is coming up, which is upon us, right? That is, I think that's essential, because if all we're looking at, let's say you're brand new here, and let's say you've had some lean times, let's say you've got a deficit condition. If all you're looking at is what you haven't accomplished yet, that's going to be rough. So we got to get those batteries charged, everybody. And so that's why we get together here each day. You know, when they asked me to come and work with this group, and now Lana's going to be working with us as well. One of the first things that we put in, one of the first things that I demanded we put in was a community call every day. Because I just know, I mean, I've been around long enough. I don't know everything, but there's a couple of things I know really, really, really friggin' good. And that is people. So we've got to be on purpose, and it's way more inspirational to look towards what we want and where we're going than just what we don't want. That may be, and Scott, you were talking about goals, okay? And maybe the initial impetus to, motivate us to stand up and, get off our ass and do something could be, hey, look at this pile of crap. Okay, I got it. That's not good. I got it. Okay, but we must turn our gaze to where are we going? Because you get what you think about, right? You validate it, it expands, you get more of that. So stop looking at the lack. And maybe now is a time where a few of us go ahead and dig into some more advanced stuff, like the science of getting rich, which I put out a whole course on that. I did like a 4-day workshop and stuff. Proctor did as well. That was one of the books that he really, affected him. So anyway, guys, we do have to wrap up. Yeah, anybody who wants a copy of that book, you can email me, johnl@knowledgesource.com.au. There's an .au on the end there because this whole operation is out of Victoria, where Scott lives. Scott B, not the other Scott or the other Scott. We got so many Scots. So none of them are from Scotland. That's interesting. Lots of Scots. None of them are Scottish. So anyway, love you guys. Lana, welcome to the crew. Good to see you. We'll be hearing more from Lana. Yay.
Thank
Just-
you.
Thank
You're
you.
so welcome. Yeah, just keep that mushroom lasagna away from me. And guys, we'll be back here on Monday.
It's really good.
All right. All right. Love you guys. Make it a great week.